Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As you may have already guessed it from the title of this video, I have bought myself a Kawasaki Ninja 400. No, this is not to replace my Heritage Classic, this is just another bike I wanted to add to my garage. So let's quickly take a look at what I bought. Alright guys, so let's talk about as to why I purchased a Ninja 400. So I did a bunch of research, looked at different bikes like a Yamaha R3, a KTM RC90, and a CBR 300 and even a CBR 500. All the research that I've done kept coming back to the Ninja 400, and some main reason for that is it's basically it's a best-in-class 400cc bike, or I should say 400 and under. It's technically 399. Now, obviously, a Yamaha is a little bit under that. It's about 320 cc's. A KTM is right around 370. But as far as the power and other features that I'll discuss, Ninja 400 came out on top. So not to get into the facts and figures, but basically this bike is a 45 horsepower and 28 foot-pounds of torque, which again makes it a class leading in terms of power. Now obviously power isn't everything unless we talk about weight as well, so power to weight distribution. So this bike weighs around 365 pounds, which is fairly light. And again, compared to the competition, it's very close to what the other bikes are. Honda is a little bit heavier. KTM is I think is a bit lighter, and Yamaha is right around the same weight. So between power and weight, this bike again comes out mostly on top. Second reason why I bought this bike is because of price. It's fairly affordable. It comes slightly over $5,000 as far as MSRP goes. Now also you have to take into consideration the location and availability. I live in New Jersey, and pretty much every dealer around this area ever since COVID have been price gouging on almost everything due to the lack of inventory. Also, again, going back to the inventory, looking at the Yamaha R3 and the KTM RC90, those bikes are very limited, and that's another reason why dealers can just skyjack the price on those as much as they feel like it. They're charging anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 over MSRP easily in this local area, which is kind of ridiculous for a small under 400cc bikes. Now Kawasaki is a little bit more readily available. There are a little bit there are more dealers in the area. Although I had to go a little bit further south, about an hour ride almost, in order for me to get an MSRP price, not even under the MSRP. There's nowhere in New Jersey you can find, or at least I haven't been able to, this bike under the MSRP. So obviously that made my decision much easier as well. Next is the bike itself, the riding position, the seat height. All those things were fairly important to me. This is my first sport, or I should say sporty bike. I've been riding cruisers for a while now, so I wanted to get into different type of riding in addition to my typical Harley riding, and just to learn more a new skill and to get to experience that sport bike riding experience. So Ninja 400 is positioned definitely for newer riders. I'm not a new rider again, obviously, but I haven't been riding any sport bikes before, so this was a good entry into that. Get myself a lot more comfortable. And again, like I said, learning a new skill, and then eventually, who knows, I may move up to a different type of bike. But for now, this will do quite well. Again, so most of you who subscribe to my channel already know I'm pretty short. I only have a 28-inch inseam, so that was taken into consideration quite a bit. Now, obviously, a lot of people will tell you on a sport bike you don't have to flat foot, and I was completely fine with that, not flat footing the bike, but I wanted to at very least be able to tippy toe on both sides on the bike. The seat height on this bike is about 30.9 or 30.7, I believe, right around there somewhere. So anything under 31, I have been able to do tippy toe the bike quite comfortably. This is a very light bike, as I mentioned. It's only 365 pounds, which makes it super easy to hold it upright. And I did not feel like I really needed to flat foot it. I've been riding it for a couple of weeks now, since I bought it a couple of weeks ago. And I've gotten very comfortable with getting to the stoplight with one foot on the rear brake and left foot down, and kind of just riding that. And that's what I've been trying to make myself do, not grabbing the front brake. At anything below 10 miles an hour, I use only rear braking, which is what I do on a Harley, because again, it's a 750 pound bike versus a 360 pound bike. So definitely quite a bit of difference. So my journey of getting my Harley to sit that way I wanted to sit, and again, to those guys that have been following me, you know exactly where I was going with that. I did need to feel a lot more comfortable and be able to handle a 750 bike slightly differently than a 360 pound bike. So my riding style, or I should say the type of riding that I do, is a lot of it is really around town. I don't do tons of highway riding, so I don't really need a 1000cc bike or even a 600cc bike, to be honest with you. Now, do I want one? Sure, and I eventually may. But for now, 400cc bike will be plenty powerful. I'm also very light, so between the weight of the bike and my weight, 400cc bike is perfectly fine for the type of riding that I do. Now, when I was looking at a bike, I didn't really care too much for a lot of bells and whistles as far as different riding modes and the different suspension selections, so on and so forth, that bigger cc bikes and more expensive bikes come with, and those are all cool. Again, I have absolutely nothing against it, but I didn't feel like I really needed any of those. And this bike is pretty much as naked in terms of features and functions as they come. Right? It does have an ABS, it has a slipper clutch, and that's pretty much it. And I'm completely fine with that. Some of the things that I like about this bike is the display. Display is very, very functional. It gives you all the information that you need in a split second, just so you look down, you get your information, you can keeping your eyes back on the road, which is really what you want to do while you're riding. You don't want to distract yourself trying to look for information, whether it's a gear selection or RPMs, or even glance quickly at a clock or something like that. This bike gives you all that information, and it's very, very visible. Suspension on this bike is nothing special. It doesn't have any adjustments on the front forks, and on the rear it's basically just a preload. So it has, I believe, 7 settings. I keep it at 1 because of my weight, and it works fine. It is a little stiff, but it is actually, it works out very well on the street roads. It's very compliant due to the potholes and things that we have here in New Jersey. The roads are not the best, so it is very compliant. It's not very bouncy, but it is a little bit on the stiff side. I only own this bike for about 2 weeks now, so here are I don't have a lot of negatives to say about the bike so far. The only 2 things I kind of dislike a little bit about the bike, and I'm going to remedy both of those, are the screen and the exhaust. Here's a quick clip of the exhaust and how the bike sounds stock. yeah, this stock exhaust is super quiet, which again, like I said, I'm going to remedy that very soon. Going back to the screen, because of the riding position, it's more upright riding. The handlebars are, again, sit slightly higher. It's not a super sport position where you sit a lot closer to the tank. Now you can still tuck if you need to on this bike. That's not an issue. But again, I like the fact that you can just relax and cruise around without, you know, having your back hurt after about 10-15 minutes of riding the bike. So that's definitely a big plus. But because of that riding position, I do get a lot more buffeting on my helmet because the windscreen is very short, and the way it's positioned, I do catch a lot of air on my helmet. So when I go anything faster than like 40-50 miles an hour, I do have to get into more tuck position. So I did find a windscreen that I like, and I think it'll solve that issue, and you will see that in the upcoming videos. Alright guys, so that will do it for today. I just wanted to give you a quick update on my new purchase and the future plans. There's quite a few. I have a bunch of accessories that have already came in, and some are still on order. So do stay tuned for more updates and the upgrades on my 2021 Ninja 400. If this video was helpful to some of you, as always, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.